Welcome to Sister Scoot, where we are coming at you with the top 3 Marvel news topics of the week. This was a weird week. Weird week of things that are like news, but also maybe not news. I don't know. Let's get into the first one, which and this is why I kind of say this. So there have been Daredevil Born Again Season 3 set photos that have shown Iron Fist and Luke Cage making a return.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm thrilled. I feel like we've been talking about these guys coming back for so long. We've been advocating for it. I know so many of the fans have been. So before I get into why it's a little bit of a weird situation for me, I just want to put that out there first. This is first and foremost amazing news. Great news for the fans, great news for the story overall, and for street level storytelling as a whole.
Yeah.
So, period, the end. That's just the initial statement. But I will say, as much as I love getting yearly Daredevil episodes or seasons, the fact that season 3 filming has spoiled season 2, I mean,
yeah.
In some ways it has, in some ways it hasn't. Like, we don't know exactly how they're coming in, where they're coming in, why. If they're in season 2 a little bit and then they're more in season 3 because it's the first time we're like catching them. So there's still a lot up in the air. But I will say, I'm like, we're halfway through the season and now we know these guys are coming back. And while that's amazing news, we're still halfway through the season.
See, my bigger thing that I found frustrating about this leak of set photos was Luke Cage is very obviously wearing an outfit that looks very much like some of the outfits he wears when he is mayor of New York, which happens after Kingpin is mayor. So that's where I'm a little frustrated because I think we all kind of anticipated the direction this was going to go, especially bringing back Luke Cage. We kind of were like, all right, well, there's a good chance. I think we also have already talked about, the Kingpin storyline, as far as at least Mayor, is not continuing past the season.
Right.
They've confirmed that before the season even started. So that's not like new news, but like getting literal set photos of him in an outfit that very much looks like the outfits he tends to wear as mayor. It's like,
or running for mayor.
But like either way, it's like it's so aggravating in its own way for the exact same reasons you just said, though. It's like we are actively watching season 2.
Well, and it's like
I understand
when they
have
released
to film, but like,
well, and it's
come
like
on.
when they released the Brand New Day trailer and they had Sheila giving him the key to the city. It's like, y'all, we are watching this season and it's great. It is.
Were we even watching the season when Brand New Day came out? I don't even think we were watching.
No,
the
actually,
Daredevil
you're right.
Season
It was
yet.
like I think a couple days before.
Yeah.
So like, that's the thing though. It's like we are either about to watch the season, or in this case, like right smack dab in the middle, and it's like these are great updates. Like storyline wise, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been thrilled and surprised, or like thrilled and like been able to have finished this season and been like, this is how this season goes into next season. And now everybody's talking about what the storyline is going to be next season already. And there's some great videos out there. And that's amazing. Love the theories. I think that some people are really honing in on what that's going to look like. But at the same time, I would like to maybe be a little further in season 2 before we're starting to talk about this is how it leads into season 3 and this is what season 3 is going to be.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really control some of the set photos that happens. I understand. So in that way, like I can't be mad. The Brand New Day one was bad. That was just bad.
Yeah.
Like you could have chosen any other footage and you chose that one.
Just the shot of him holding the key. That was all you needed. Like you didn't need him actually receiving it.
You actually like fully didn't even need to put it in there though. It could have been in the next trailer. Like it didn't need to be in this trailer. So that one was bad. It is a little disappointing for the sake of season 2, to your point. It is very exciting otherwise. So I guess we're getting them back. I guess we're getting Danny back as the Iron Fist and whatever that's going to look like, we don't have the time to talk about right now because we've got other things to talk about. But I'm sure we'll end up having some sort of conversation around it. I mean, we still haven't seen Jessica Jones in season 2 yet. So
Yeah.
there's plenty to still talk about when it comes to the Defenders. But now I want to talk about my more so favorite topic, which is the X-Men. And
Yes.
we're getting some more film details for the X-Men.
Yes. So Jake Schreier has confirmed that they are not just thinking about, a singular X-Men film, but how are they going to create, I don't want to say a saga because that's maybe putting it a little bit, maybe a little bit of assumption there or a little leading, but he's talking about multiple films, right? What are the kind of overall storylines that we're going to tell with X-Men that go beyond just a singular film? So I think, first of all, that's super great news, right? Like, we all kind of are guessing, we're waiting for the confirmation that it's going to be a mutant saga next, but
we've just assumed
knowing that
at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Like, us on this podcast have fully, like, we just say, yeah, so the next saga, the mutant saga.
Yeah,
like, it's just been fully.
Yeah, we've just accepted it as truth, whether or not the studio has actually told us. But that being said, I think it's nice to know that they are also thinking, regardless of whether or not for some reason it's not the mutant saga, they're thinking, okay, this is how we're going to tell, mutant stories and things like that. Because I think when they get into this like one series or one film mindset, that's where we get things that are like completely disconnected from one another. So love that. The other big update that I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about, Lee Sung Jin from Beef and Joanna Kahlo from The Bear are both working on this as well, which is super exciting. The Beef and The Bear are both, hi Gambit, are both super,
Speaking of X-Men,
our
own personal X-Men here.
They're both super well received shows. So knowing that they're frequent collaborators with Jake Schreier. So love that. Also, just the fact that we're getting any details at all about this movie is so exciting.
Anything I can get about the X-Men, like, I just like gobble up. It can be crumbs and I'm satiated. Like, I'm so good with anything that you're going to give me. And so as far as I'm concerned, this news is a win.
Yeah.
To your point, especially with the X-Men, because, and now maybe it's because I'm just a little bit more versed in the X-Men regard, just because, the shows and things like that. But they're just so much more connected to me than some of the more individual stories that you're seeing with the Avengers as a whole. And maybe that's also partially just biased because that's kind of how the MCU has painted the Avengers versus, how we've always seen the X-Men painted as more of a team unit versus more individualistic. But there are so many stories for the X-Men that, there are individual stories, but they are together a lot. And so I don't feel like you can go into something like that being like, I just want to focus on, Cyclops in the same way we just focused on Steve for a while or something like that, or Iron Man got his trilogy and things like of that nature. I think there's still obviously going to be a component in which you're going to have like the big names, and I'm sure when we have whatever Wolverine we're going to get, he's going to get his own movies to some degree as well. But like, I do think you have to look to really tell their stories, which is why X-Men 97 works. You have to really look at them as a bigger group and as a bigger story, more than just this movie's getting done, this movie's getting done, and things like that. So I like that news. It's positive for me.
Yeah, I agree. Also, just the fact that like they're working on it. We know they're working on it. It's just,
it's moving.
One day it'll materialize and we'll all be in the theaters watching the X-Men. Y'all,
and I can't
as part of the MCU. Y'all.
It'll be so exciting.
May the day come quickly.
I know. Well, speaking of X-Men 97, may this day come even quicker. This is what I'm counting literally down to. Like, I cannot wait, as we all know. But we did get kind of our first semi-look at it. It's like a poster, sort of. But it kind of gives us an update on where all of our characters are in a very loose way. Let's say that.
Yeah, and I think beyond just the visual, the other big news coming out around X-Men 97 is the fact that there's going to be 2 other X teams who are going to be involved. So this is directly from Brad Winderbaum, who is a someone we talk about often on this podcast, he said, and I quote, there's two other X teams in season 2. So people are starting to posit, like, which ones are they? Who else is out there besides the X-Men? I actually had to go. It's been so long since I've seen X-Men 97 that when they were referencing certain things in the articles I was reading, I actually had to go watch the last like 10 or so minutes of the season just as a refresher. And then I was like, actually, how did we get here? So I will be doing a full season 1 rewatch prior. But
that is what I will rewatch because, I just loved it. That's the only reason.
I also just like, it's not like it's connected to the MCU where you can be like, I've seen where this character goes from here, so it helps you remind like where they came from. Like, we've been so removed from them for what now, like 2+ years, that it's like, oh my gosh, what actually, like, I remember the big stuff, but I don't remember how certain things led to other things. So definitely will be rewatching. I'm excited. I like that they're starting to seed it. I don't think we have a full date for this. I believe we know it's summer, but like we don't have an actual firm date. So the fact that they're starting to like give us little clues and talk about it, maybe we'll get a date soon. I'm really excited about that because y'all know, I mean, Katie especially, but we both loved this show.
We did. And I just want justice for Gambit. Y'all were here during the traumatizing period of literally getting my dog, naming him Gambit, and about 2 weeks later, having Gambit killed off of our screens, and that was really not great. So I'm just waiting patiently for my Gambit to reappear on my screen. But yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. The reason the poster is also, I start with that is, we'll see where they're coming in as far as time, because we have to remember our teams were separated at the very end. Now, obviously, we're not going to get into the whole like predictions of it. We don't have the time. That's not the purpose here. And we haven't had any content yet to fully predict.
I was going to say, we also don't know anything.
We don't know anything. But knowing that there are 2 other teams coming in and we are all separated, I believe, in 3 different timelines, I think that kind of is a very interesting perspective to just bring to it, and just something to nibble on as we wait for more content.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot to talk about with this one. I'm very excited to see what season 2 brings us.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. All right. Well, that has been this week's Sister Scoop. Make sure you guys are joining us again next week as we tackle 3 more Marvel news topics of who knows what else. And also make sure you guys are joining us on the podcast side as we are covering Daredevil Born Again Season 2. We're about halfway there, so make sure you guys are watching it and also going ahead and listening to us as well. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.